Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. P. I'm back and I'm going to read chapter 9 of Stef Soto, the Taco Queen. And she's the one whose family owns a taco truck, and then she's kind of caught in the middle between being slightly embarrassed and yay, we have food. And the whole football team knows it. So, chapter 9. I hope you can see this. We spend the rest of the afternoon at the flea market parked next to a truck called Hiro Hero. Hiro Hero. Our menus are so different, Poppy had explained, that we're not really competing with each other, just giving customers more options. Late in the afternoon, he sends me over with 2 carnitas burritos. I come back to Tia Perla with 2 pitas stuffed with chicken souvlaki. The line outside our window is never very long, but orders are steady enough to stay put. Not until we've sold out of carne asada do Poppy and I leave the flea market and head back to the commissary. It is after dark, but still warm when we finally pull in. I can't tell if you can see it or not. I can't help daydreaming about the Viviana Vega concert. I've never won anything in my whole life, not even a goldfish at school carnival. It was obviously meant to be, and then I remember how hopeless it is, and my chest goes tight. Poppy shuts off the engine. Mija, he says, you can wait here until I'm finished if you want. A break from cleanup duties? I'm about to say yes, but I have a second thought. Nope, I say, straightening up and unbuckling my seatbelt. I can help. I have only a week to show my parents I'm not a little kid anymore. I have to make them see how responsible I am, to convince them that I'm not too young to go to that concert. Poppy looks surprised, but he nods. Orale, he says, leading the way. I restock napkins and empty the trash. As I'm carrying a tub of sour cream from the truck back into the commissary refrigerator, I notice Poppy and some of the other drivers huddled around a bulletin board, squinting at a letter that must have been tacked there sometime this afternoon. Okay, where is it in the camera? Okay. Regulations, asked the owner of Tacos Al Groyenes. God, I murdered that word. Regulations mean they want to drive us out of business. It's not a Vera Padilla insists. She swats at the letter as though shooing a fly. She and her sister Myrna drive Burritos Paradiso, usually parked outside the gym. It's famous for Myrna's caramel top flan. They try this every few years. Nothing ever happens. Trust me, don't worry. Poppy sees me watching and waves me over. Estefania, ven. I join the others in front of the bulletin board, and he points to the letter. He doesn't have to say anything for me to know he wants me to translate. He speaks good enough English, but when it comes to important conversations and official-looking paperwork, he doesn't really trust himself. He always asks me. I translate at doctor's visits and parent conferences and when letters come in from the bank or from the electric company. Where am I? I'm trying not to hit this camera and I got lost. Or the electric company. I'm used to it, but it still leaves me with a nervous pins and needles feeling in my stomach. When Poppy says he needs my help with Tia Perla, I know he just wants some company. When he asks for help with English, it's like he really needs me. I look up at the posting. Meeting notice is printed across the top in bold capital letters. It's from the city, I confirm. Darn it. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to confuse you. It's from the city, I confirm. And it's about new rules. It looks like, I scan farther down the page and read renewable every year and clean and free from damage. Doesn't sound like a very big deal to me. Tia Perla might not be the prettiest truck in the parking lot, but she's clean enough. I step back from the bulletin board. There's going to be a special meeting. All of you can go if you have something to say. Don't bother, Vera grumbles. Like I said, nothing ever happens. Poppy pulls out a notepad, the one he uses to jot down which ingredients and supplies are running low, and copies the date and time of the meeting. All done, Estefania, he says. Vamonos. Okay, we've got time to read chapter 10 too. Sunday is the only day of the week we spend all together. The only day Poppy leaves Tia Perla parked at the commissary. And by Sunday, all of us need a break. Poppy doesn't want to cook for anyone. Mommy doesn't want to be on her feet. I just want to sleep in. So usually on Sundays, after I finally wake up, we drive to Susie's Cafe for the breakfast special. But today, my alarm clock jostles me out of bed at 5:30. My parents are still asleep and I go straight to work. I iron a week's worth of white school uniform blouses and hang them smooth and starched in my closet. I sweep the floors and start the coffee. And by the time my parents wander into the kitchen, I'm chopping peppers and grating cheese to make us omelets. Don't worry about the dishes, I tell Mommy when I see her glance at the growing stack in the sink. I'll get to them after breakfast. Now, sit down. Siéntese. Mommy looks at Poppy, who just laughs and sits down. I pour 2 cups of coffee, adding a splash of milk to Poppy's, and set them on the table. Mija, thank you, but what are you doing up so early? What's all this? Mommy asked, tightening her robe around her waist. Oh, it's nothing, I say breezily, tucking a flyaway curl behind my ear. My hair falls loose over my shoulders the way Mommy likes it. You have such beautiful hair, so thick and full. She always tells me trying to get me to wear my hair down. Thick and full is just a polite way. I have to lift this up. Just a polite way of saying wild and frizzy, so I usually pull it back into a ponytail. But Mommy has also said I look older with my hair down, so today I give it a try. Oh, I was just thinking, I continue. I'm old enough to cook and clean a little. I open the refrigerator and grab the carton of orange juice. Now that I'm getting older, you can trust me with more responsibility. Mommy looks confused, but she smiles and sips her coffee. Well, thank you for breakfast, Estefania, she says. I'm impressed. Poppy clears his throat. And this doesn't have anything to do with the concert on Saturday night. Concert? Mommy asks, stopping mid-bite to look at me. Oh, I take a deep breath and sit down in my chair at the kitchen table and tell Mommy about the Virginia Vega tickets. They just have to let me go. The arena is totally safe and I can take Poppy's cell phone just in case. Plus, Amanda will be with me. I won't even be alone, really. Neither of them says a thing. I try, but I can't stop the whine that creeps into my voice. Please? Everyone else in 7th grade gets to go out by themselves, and they go to the mall by themselves. They see movies by themselves. They stay home by themselves. I swear you can trust me. I'm very responsible. Estefania, we know how responsible you are, Mommy says gently, but I'm just not sure about this. I don't think I like the idea of you being out there on your own, at a concert and at night, and all those people. Poppy obviously agrees with her. Were they even listening? I hold my breath for 5 long seconds to keep from rolling my eyes. This is almost the same conversation we had when I wanted to go to the end-of-the-year trip to the water park last summer. Those slides look so dangerous. When Amanda's parents invited me to go with them on their family camping trip, what if there's an emergency and you can't reach us? And when the neighbor offered me $20 to babysit her daughter for a couple of hours one weekend. Taking care of little kids is a lot harder than you realize. Why don't you watch her here and then we can help you? I let my breath out slowly. Please, just think about it, I say through gritted teeth as calmly as I can manage. My hand shakes as I pour myself some juice. The rest of our breakfast is awkward and quiet, and I take a few bites of my omelet and push the rest around my plate. It's not too bad, actually, but I'm just not hungry. After a while, Mommy gets up to take a shower, whispering, "Thanks again, Mija." And Poppy opens the newspaper. It hardly seems like there's any reason to wash the dishes anymore. It's not going to make a difference with my parents, but even I think it would be pretty childish at this point. So I start filling the sink. If it was a normal Sunday, I might be waking up right now, or right about now. We would come home after breakfast at Susie's. Mommy would call Grandma, handing me the phone to tell her about school. Poppy would go out to his flower beds, and I'd usually go out and help him, or at least bring him a hat and a glass of ice water if the weather was warm. For dinner, we'd eat leftovers straight out of their Tupperware containers, and afterward, the three of us would fold laundry in the living room, catching up on telenovelas we'd recorded over the past week. Right now, we're in the middle of El Malcriado. It's about a poor but beautiful housekeeper, of course, who falls in love with the rich but spoiled son of her employer, obviously. I'm betting that in the end, a letter will come for the housekeeper telling her she's inherited millions from a long-lost uncle. Mammy thinks she'll end up saving the rich man's life, causing him to see how foolish he was to have ignored her all those years. And then he'll beg her to marry him right there in the hospital. Just watch, Mommy predicts. Poppy rolls his eyes at us, but we know he's just as eager to find out. Just as eager as we are to find out what happens next. But tonight we don't get the chance. The uncomfortable hush that fell over us at breakfast lasts through the morning and into the afternoon. After her shower, Mommy calls my grandmother like she always does, and Poppy goes outside to work in the garden. But instead of following him, I go to my room and close the door behind me. I finish the little homework I had left, and then open my sketchbook. Drawing calms me, and I even start feeling hopeful. Mommy and Pappy haven't said no to the concert. Maybe they're at least considering it. When I wander out of my room around dinner time, I find Poppy at the kitchen table with his grocery list and a reheated container of spaghetti. He looks up and holds it out, offering me a bite. I shake my head, and he goes back to planning for the week ahead. Not very hungry, I warm a tortilla on the stove, spread some butter on it, then roll it up to eat on the living room sofa. When Mommy comes in with the laundry basket, I wipe my fingers to help her fold, but we don't turn on the TV. Okay, that's the end, and we will get to chapter 11 next week. Goodbye, boys and girls.